this video, we're going to begin to explore the concept of education for sustainable development, what it is and how best to approach it. We're living in a time of unprecedented environmental crisis. We have altered the Earth's ecosystems to such an extent that it threatens the survival of many species, including our own. According to UNESCO, what we know, what we believe in, and what we do needs to change. What we've learned so far does not prepare us for the challenge ahead. This cannot go on. We urgently need to learn to live differently. And so, in 2015, in an unprecedented move, all 193 countries of the United Nations came together to officially adopt the UN Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals. These are an urgent call to action to create a more just and sustainable world by 2030. The 17 goals include ending hunger, ending poverty, combating climate change, protecting biodiversity in the oceans and on land, and working together for peace and justice. Goal number 4 is education. And while education is a goal in itself, it's also a key enabler for all of the other goals. And that's why education for sustainable development is such an integral part of the work towards sustainability. Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, aims to motivate and empower children throughout their lives to become informed and active global citizens working towards a sustainable future. We as educators have the opportunity to develop capacities in our learners that will lead to societal transformation. Thus, the aim of ESD is firstly to raise awareness of the Sustainable Development Goals, but also to motivate and empower learners to act upon them. And thirdly, to develop a critical and contextual understanding of the goals themselves. The issues involved are complex and multifaceted. So how best can we equip young learners to deal with them? We can see that young people are engaged and motivated for change. The school strikes for climate change, the backlash against fast fashion. So how do we provide them with the skills and the knowledge? How do we give them the voice and empower them to make those changes? Learners are best supported to think critically when there's a culture of inquiry in the classroom. Inquiry skills are powerful because they enable learners to interrogate, to analyse, and to interpret information. Through inquiry, learners are motivated to explore, to question, and to formulate new ideas about issues that they find personally relevant. As Kathy Short says, inquiry is as much about how we live as learners as it is about what we learn. So what does inquiry look like? Inquiry is, by its nature, a participatory process, a collaborative endeavour of connecting to and reaching beyond current understandings. Inquiry involves learners wondering, questioning, gathering and interpreting evidence, reflecting on their own learning, and ultimately taking positive action that is informed by their new understanding. It's often helpful to have a framework for inquiry in the classroom, particularly when dealing with issues of social and environmental justice. And you can read more about this in my chapter on translating critical thinking into meaningful action in this book, Challenging Perceptions of Africa in Schools. Finally, in education for sustainability, it's important also to remain hopeful, to focus on the positive, so that children don't become overwhelmed or feel powerless in the face of such difficult problems. We're moving in the right direction towards the sustainable goals. And because their clear targets have been defined and they're globally monitored, we can see that we're making progress. Action is empowering. It shows how we as individuals can make a difference. Research has shown that children are less pessimistic about climate change when they are empowered to take action. Inquiry leads naturally to action, and that action is meaningful because it is both relevant to the learner and informed by their understanding. Even through small actions, we can make a difference, both to ourselves and to the world in which we live. When educating for sustainability, it's also really important to remain hopeful, to focus on the positive, so that children don't feel overwhelmed or powerless in the face of such difficult problems.